I just saw the dog poop while she was eating. Like, what the heck? She didn't stop eating. She just eating, squatted and pooped. Right there, right next to her bowl. Is that normal? Like, what the heck are you doing, JJ? Yeah, so that was my little morning thing that happened just right now. What the heck? Today is Thursday. Normally I would have off tomorrow and I'd be like, tomorrow is Thursday, let's be excited. Well, I don't have to work tomorrow, but that's okay. It's okay because I like my job. Hi, kitty. What's up? Let's go find out. Yes, kitty. You want a treats? That's what she wants. What is this human good for? They feed me. They give me scratches when I want to, sometimes too much. And then they give me treats. Okay. Alright, kitty. Oh, meow. Okay. Well, hold on. Here's a treat for kitty. This is mostly my finger, but sure. Ooh. She's like, yes, gimme, gimme. Oh. Oops, I dropped it. You didn't have to work for that one. Where'd it go? Are you find it? JJ, none of this is for you. I have yours. Here, back up, kitty. I think you dropped one. Oh, dog got it. Too late. Give you one more, kitty. Yes. She's like, gimme. Can you stand up for it? It's way up high. Come on. I know you can do it, kitty. Good kitty. No more. That's it. That's all you get. Give you enough as it is. Alright, kitty. Now, I guess it's time to go back to bed. Isn't it, JJ? We'll see you later. Leftovers. Leftovers are what is left over from your meal nights before, or the night before. In this case, yesterday. We have some leftover, what I made yesterday, chicken stir fry. So I'm making it breakfast by adding eggs. I only have 3 eggs left. I wish I had tomorrow off, because then I could go buy eggs, but I don't have tomorrow off. I have to buy eggs on Saturday. Daniel was alright with us hanging out on Saturday instead of Friday. So, not like he had a choice. Okay, so I'm just going to add eggs to the stir fry. Where did I put my spoon? Here it is. So, get the stir fry nice and hot. I did put in some coconut oil in there. We're going to season it up a little bit more because it looks a little bland, to be honest. So let me get some something. Alright, so I just put some seasoned salt in there. Now I'm going to crack these 3 eggs in there. Oops, I got shell in there. A big chunk too. Crack these 3 eggs, and we'll stir them up so they're scrambled. I wish I had sage. Sage is it's actually a good spice to use for flavor when you're making food. Alright, so then we just kind of break the yolks and stir it around a bit till your eggs are all cooked up. And that is your leftover stir-fry breakfast. I'll show you when I'm done. So, see, looks like eggs, stir-fry, whatever. I put in a little bit of seasoned salt. I put in a couple dashes of teriyaki sauce. I think teriyaki might be a different kind of soy sauce. It's not, but I definitely gave it something extra. Just a few dashes is good. So this afternoon, I put, you know how when you put a pan that has like stuff on it, you want to be able to get it off. So you put like water on it and you put it on the stove top and you let it boil for a little bit. Well, I forgot it was there. So it had been boiling and it boiled off everything on the pan. It boiled it and then it was starting to burn. Thankfully, it's my cast iron, so it's not like it didn't ruin my pan. At least I don't think it did. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay. So it got smoky, real smoky in here. You think it looks smoky right now? I think that's just my lens. Oh. Yeah, look at this. Charred. Burnt, crispy. Yeah, so I need to, like, you know, do the water thing again, I guess. I'm not really sure. I was just trying to get some stuff off, but I know for sure I don't use a Brillo pad on it, which I don't have one. I don't have a, like, a non-soapy Brillo pad. Anyway, so, I'm just gonna soak it. No heat or anything. We're just gonna soak it with the water. And hopefully it'll loosen up whatever is in there. Yeah. So that happened. Yeah. What do I need to do? I need to make myself something to eat. I gotta clean off this countertop. Or, I gotta clean off the stovetop. That's what I gotta do. Forgot to do my hair today, which means tomorrow my hair will be extra crunchy. Not crunchy. Oh, I forgot to put the chicken back too. Hi. Are you making a chicken? You might be asking yourself, Auntie Jenny, if you're making food for supper, why are you eating a bowl of ice cream? Because I can. I'm an adult. There's no rule anywhere that says I have to eat dessert after supper. Okay? Nowhere. Anywhere. This is Kemp's, the salted caramel something. salted caramel swirl. It's very, sometimes you'll get those ice creams that have it's salted caramel or whatever swirl, but it's not very well swirled. It's very well swirled, and the vanilla ice cream that it's with is very creamy. Nice, and flavor is very nice. I really like caramel. If I had caramel syrup, I would put that on here as well. That's how much I like caramel. I'd have my caramel swirl ice cream with caramel syrup. I just really like caramel. I used to really like chocolate. Then I grew up, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. People, you can like chocolate if you want to. I just prefer caramel now. Maybe I had too much chocolate as a kid. Not really sure. I'm not doing anything special with the chicken. It's just going to be a chicken breast, and I'll season it with, I don't know, seasoned salt or something. Nothing special. I'm gonna watch TV. Hi there, how are you? I'm so glad. It's so wonderful day. Yes. Good evening. I thought that I would try out a new show on Netflix. Well, new to me is Dracula. It's the Netflix series. It opens on, I'm on episode 1, season 1, episode 1. And it's called The Rules of the Beast. So it starts with this guy in a monastery, and he looks very disheveled and bald and worn, and I don't know, something wrong with him. He's sensitive to light, but he doesn't have any of the other like vampire things. And he said he was telling the what do they call it, the nuns in the monastery, that's where he's staying, in the monastery, about his encounter with Dracula. So right now it's his flashback. He's a lawyer. He goes to Dracula's house to tell him about a property in England that he could purchase. But Dracula's like, you're gonna live with me for a month. And that's where I'm at right now. Okay, good evening. It's 9:40. It is 9:40. Hi, it's 9:40. Dracula. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you as much as I can remember. My memory is pretty sucky. So spoilers, but kind of, sort of. Alright, so if you plan to watch Netflix series Dracula and you don't like any spoilers, then you can end the video now. If you don't care about spoilers, then continue to watch. Alright, so see, episode 1. That's what we're on. Season 1, episode 1 of Dracula, Netflix. As I mentioned, the lawyer guy's name is Jonathan. Jonathan, his name is. He has a fiance, and while he is staying at Dracula's house, remember I mentioned he had to stay at Dracula's for a month or whatever. That's what Dracula said. And when we first meet Dracula, he's this old, very old, decrepit kind of guy, very bad accent and so on. But the next day, he's a lot younger. So Dracula is a lot younger, but Jonathan seems a lot worn down, a lot older. And obviously, you put 2 and 2 together, Dracula is feeding on Jonathan, but Jonathan doesn't remember this because he's sleeping, he thinks it's a dream. And so during the daytime, Jonathan, he realizes that something's happening, and that he is deteriorating, but Dracula is getting younger and younger, so he wants to figure out, Jonathan wants to figure out why this is happening. So during the day, when Dracula is sleeping, Jonathan explores his castle. He finds rooms, a room, has a bunch of crate boxes in it. So he opens the boxes, and one of them happened to have a dead body in it, except the body's not dead. They're undead, you know? So this, as a reminder, this, what I'm talking about at Dracula's castle, is a flashback for when Jonathan escapes Dracula's castle, and Jonathan's being interrogated by Sister Agatha, who is like a nun that doesn't believe in God or something like that. Anyway, she has a proclivity towards the, I don't know how I was there, towards the darkness, the cults, the occult, and all that kind of stuff. So she is she is interviewing Jonathan to ask how he got out of Dracula's castle. I went back and forth a lot about where Dracula was trying to convince Jonathan that he was dreaming. Jonathan, I wouldn't say a lot, like a couple of times. Jonathan is like, I'm not dreaming, but he's getting really weak because obviously loss of blood, and he's not regenerating blood or whatever. So Dracula's like, takes him up to the very, very top of the tower or whatever, the castle, to describe the sunrise. I guess he was planning on killing Jonathan, which he does. He actually snaps his head, turns his head all the way around. Jonathan is dead, but he's drank so much of his blood and whatnot that Jonathan turns into a vampire, but only like partially. He doesn't have the blood cravings as of yet. So he's at the top of the castle, and Dracula's like, describe the sun to me, and Jonathan's like, please just let me go. I promise I won't tell anyone. And he's like, yeah, just swear to me. So he stands up and looks him in the eye. I swear to you that you will die, or something like that. And so Jonathan goes and stands on the ledge, and Dracula says some words or whatever, and Jonathan turns around. He's wearing his cross, and the sunlight from the sun reflects off of his cross and onto Dracula's face. So Jonathan's like, I remember him screaming, and then I jumped off the castle. I jumped off the castle. So he was found in a river. He was dead, but you know, he's undead, so he comes back to life and so on. So Dracula's presumed dead at this point because he screamed and ran away or something from the sun. Dracula's not dead, because if he was dead in the first season, the first episode, that would be a terrible show. Anyway, okay, so following that, we learned how Jonathan escapes from Dracula's castle. But Jonathan didn't realize till after he put the whole story together that he was dead. He didn't remember that he was actually dead, you know? And so he's like, oh, Princess Agatha, Sister Agatha is like, hi kitty. She's like, yes, you're dead, and is very fascinated about the whole Dracula situation. So, she goes down, and Dracula shows up as a wolf. I guess he can like put himself in a wolf's body or whatever. And then he shows up at the gates of the monastery, the nunnery, whatever you want to call it. He goes down, or she goes to the gates because the mother superior is standing there, and I keep wanting to say princess. Sister Agatha's like, I would not recommend inviting him in. She's like, that was not on the list of things to do, you know, and that was pretty funny. And so she's basically testing the theory that the vampire cannot come in unless he's invited. So it's confirmed he can't come in. She plays around with him for a while, like, haha, you can't come in. If you were to come in, none of these people are going to let you in. She's like, well, I'm going to find somebody, and it only takes one person when I come in. Dracula's like, when I come in, everybody's dead, you know, or whatever, threats and so on. So they do their little back and forth business, and then they move on. Meanwhile, Jonathan, or Agatha had another nun with her, doing the investigation. Well, the nun turned out to be a ruse. It was actually Jonathan's fiance, who's like, oh, I know you don't remember me, but I'm just so in love with you, and Johnny, blah, blah, blah. So she didn't want Jonathan to die. Obviously, she's in love and so on. So even though Agatha had the, like the stakes, the wooden stakes to run through the heart and crosses and all that stuff, the fiance, I can't remember her name, she wouldn't kill Jonathan. So anyway, Jonathan decides to off himself, but apparently he missed his heart because he was still alive when he was alive and laying on the ground, and Dracula is on the window. He's like, just invite me in and I will make you live, and I will kill you, or whatever. And apparently he invited him in. He did kill him, but he invited Dracula in, which means that Dracula is inside the nunnery now, and he's able to go and murder and stuff. So the crosses do actually work. They don't like, he doesn't go like, oh yeah, crosses. No, he's just like, doesn't want to get near them. He can't get near them, and he can't kill anything that has a cross on it. But he controls wolves, like big black roar wolves, So he is controlling these wolves. He lets the wolves in the nunnery. The wolves murdered all of the nuns that are in there. This was after he cut off the head of the Mother Superior. Like they're praying or doing something in the chapel or whatnot. Well, they were outside, but anyway, he's like, oh yeah, woo, here's your head. Let's see who's next. Catch. And so he throws the head, and the nuns are like, oh, screaming and running around like nuns do. And then, and so he's like, I can't, yes, those crosses do work, but that doesn't mean I can't control wolves. And then so they release the pack of wolves, and the pack of wolves, they rip and shred. And meanwhile, while all the massacres going on with Dracula and the other nuns, Sister Agatha and the fiance chick are down in like a cellar or something in Agatha's workshop is what she calls it, and she puts down the holy crackers, whatever those holy cracker things are, puts them along their doorway so that Dracula or Johnny can't get past. Well, so the fiance's like, oh, somebody let him in. And so they're holding out in the cellar workroom area with the crackers, and the thing can't get in. So then here comes Johnny, and Johnny's coming down. He's got his like robe or something on, I don't know, night dress, whatever, and he's not trying to kill people. And the fiance is like, oh, I trust him. And Agatha's like, don't do it, girl. And fiance's like, I'm not listening to you. So she's like, Jonathan, come in. And then it turns out she's like really close like this, she's like, Jonathan, why are your eyes not blue? And Jonathan leaves, and he says, not Jonathan's eyes. And it turns out, so he rips his skin off. It's a Jonathan skin suit, and it's Dracula. So the stupid fiance, invited Dracula into their one safe space that Agatha and the fiance was in, and she's like, oh, screamy, blah blah blah, and to be continued. Yeah. So yeah, we'll find out what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Friday, so I'll talk to you later. Have yourself a good night. Toodles.